Steve, how would you describe the feel-good factor since Saturday?
Nah, listen, obviously it was a big night for us, a big 3 points. But ultimately it's just another step on the road to hopefully securing second position and getting into the playoffs. So it was nice to enjoy it. It was a good feeling around the camp the last couple of days. But this morning, back focus. Tough game for us in the Faroes.
How much can you allow yourself to enjoy moments like that before you turn your attentions to what is obviously a big game, a big job to do on Tuesday?
As a coach, probably I switched my thinking a little bit quicker than most people. But it was also important, I think, the other night to not to milk it. It's not the right phrase, but for the public and the fans to have, or sorry, the public and the players to have that little moment after the game where it was a group of players that qualified for a major tournament after 23 years, and they did that in an empty stadium. And there's never really been the chance to have that sort of interaction between the players and the supporters, and that was a nice thing, a nice bit at the end of the game that we could do that. Obviously you score a goal in 93 minutes, everybody's got that euphoria, but there was still about 50,000 people in the stadium. They all waited, so that they believed in the team, they believed that we could maybe nick the 3-2, which we did, and it was a nice moment.
What impact do you think that can have on your players?
Good for the confidence, good for the belief, and good for them to feel loved. You know, footballers are no different to anybody else. We all like to feel the love. We're human beings. Everybody likes to feel that little bit of adoration and that little bit of love. And these players have worked hard to do what they've done for the country. I keep saying it every time they turn up, they want to do well. You see that. You see the way they work, the way they apply themselves. So it was a good moment, but one that now we've got to park and get ready for the next tough challenge.
You confirmed this morning Shea Adams is injured and will not make the next game. Is everyone else fit and available?
Yeah, everyone else fit and available, which is good.
What's Shea's problem, Steve?
Just a little muscle problem.
Grant Hanley comes back into reckoning for this game.
Yeah, Grant's available.
Does that give you a welcome selection dilemma, if you like?
I've got great selection dilemmas. Obviously, was a really good second half the other night, but I also look at the first half. That's my job, and now I've got to come up with a team. 2-day recovery and then another game was a big effort, a big shift in the second half. So I have to get the balance right between the players that played the other night and freshening the team enough to give us that little bit of fresh impetus going into the second game.
How tricky a game could this be against the Faroes? Because they've got form against us in the past.
Well, the past form won't count for anything. The atmosphere and what we're going to face over there will be different to what a lot of these players have faced before. But the historic results don't matter. But what matters is that the Faroes now are improving all the time. Much improved, qualified out of their section in the Nations League, can win games, are well organised, difficult. We saw that at Hampden. The 4-0 scoreline at Hampden was a scoreline that had a little bit of gloss on it for us. It wasn't a 4-0 game. It was a tight game for a long time, and it was only towards the end that we started to get away from them. So we go there, we expect a difficult game.
Do you feel the belief growing, Stevie, in a cumulative way when you have 3 wins on the bounce like this?
It's always nice to have a good run of wins. It's always nice to have a good unbeaten run. We want to extend that in the Faroes. The confidence should be high, but we always have to be mindful that football's a game that can kick you where it hurts, and you're never too far away for the next crisis or the next problem. So we have to make sure that we just go there, do our job, professional, and get the result that we need.
Do you feel as if you have to say to the players, right, it's back to business, or do they get that?
Nah, they're on it already. I've got little spies around the camp and people walking around listening to players' conversations, and as you're walking past them, you know I've heard them already talking about the trip to the Faroes, the sort of more senior ones that recognise the pitfalls and the dangers in these games, telling the young ones what it's going to be like over there, how difficult it's going to be, and everyone around the camp just trying to get the mood right.
And the fact that this is 3 points like the other night was 3 points.
It's just another step. It was great. It was a great night for everyone Saturday night, but was just another 3 points hopefully on the road to securing second place in the group, which gets us into the playoffs. There's no point in getting ahead of yourself. We need 3 more points, and that's the sole focus of the group.
Steve, going back to Saturday night, of course, coming twice from behind. behind to win the game. The team's character has been praised. Do you feel that's the biggest strength in this group of players?
No, I think their quality is quite good as well. I think their ability to take on board tactical information and their ability to turn around matches that they have to turn around. I mentioned it and I'll mention it again because people keep saying we can't score goals. On a night when we had to score 3 goals, we scored 3 goals. So we can do what we have to do to win games.
Have you had a conversation with Lyndon and the squad about who'll be on the next penalty? Are you keeping that close to your chest?
I think you guys get more hung up on the kind of decisions than we do.
You talk about that, the love the players got and the confidence when games are so tight together. Can that really add something going into the Faroes game?
Yeah, I hope so. I'm not sure what kind of support we're taking to the Faroes, but no matter if it's 10 or 100 or 1,000, they'll be noisy enough, they'll be behind the team. And like I said before, it's nice for this current group of youngsters who are watching the team, growing up with the team. They haven't had this kind of connection with a Scotland squad, so it's nice that we've got that. And it's up to us to keep that little union going.
Is that key for you? You want to really keep that bond between the players and the supporters, especially the younger players, the younger supporters, that are growing up watching this team, sort of idolising them?
I just want to win the next game. And if we win the next game, that stays in place.
Do you sense the hunger from the guys who haven't been on the field for these games to be involved? You know, they might get a chance. You said that you might freshen things up. They must kind of add an extra edge for these guys who are in and around the squad but haven't been getting on the pitch yet.
It's the most important part of the squad is the ones that don't start, that don't play. They're the ones that I give them a bib in training and I say, can you be Austria? Can you play like Austria? Can you do this for us tactically in the training session? Can you be like Israel? Can you be like the Faroes? These are the players that we rely on for the squad spirit. It's easy to be a great member of the squad when the head coach is picking you every match. That's easy. The other ones are the ones that keep the squad together, the spirit of the squad. A lot of people get the big headlines, you know, the ones that you might deem as star names. To me, they're all star names. Someone will get, you know, Andy gets it, he's a captain. John McGinn gets it because he scores lots of goals. Dykesy gets it for different reasons, scoring goals and missing penalties. You know, but within the squad you've got people like Kenny McLean. Kenny's keeping Billy out the Norwich team at the moment, and Kenny's not getting any minutes under me. So for him to come in and be as positive he is a great thing. Kieran Tierney doesn't get too much big publicity off the media. Kieran's playing out of position. He's doing a job for the team, he's fitting in well. Him and Andy have worked up a really good understanding on our left-hand side. So all these little things come together and that grows your squad, your group of players. Really important.
Is that quite rare to have that? Is it something that needs a lot of work to have that?
Normally in a club environment you can work on it a little bit better. You've got to remember I just borrow these players. I borrow them for 10 days at the moment every month, and then you go into the winter and you don't see them. I don't see them in December, January, February, get them together again in March. So the fact that we can keep that bond and keep that togetherness within the group is really important. If you want to be successful, the better your group of players, the more together they are, then the more chance you have to be successful.
Just lastly for me on the Faroes, how instructive is their performance at home to Denmark when you're preparing for this? You managed to keep them out for it and really frustrate them for quite a long period.
They're a good team, the Faroes. I've just touched on it. Technically good, improving all the time, really well organised, and they have their own way of being a big threat, especially at home. So, like I said before, we just concentrate on what we do. Everything we've done so far is been on the path to try and get to the playoffs. Obviously, at the start of the section, we want to be first. Realistically, now we can't be first, so we can be second. So we have to stay on that path. And if we can get second, then we're in the playoffs.
Any final questions from Scottish media? We've just got one from the Faroe Islands. I'd like to know why the Scottish team opted not to arrive in the Faroes and not train at the stadium as the team trained on an artificial pitch in Scotland.
The process of how we get to the opposition country hasn't changed. After I came in, we used to travel one day early so that we could train over there on the pitch. We don't do that anymore. We trained here at the Orion facility where we have an artificial pitch and grass.